Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've done so already. Now looking at the put to call ratio, it's at 0.56. It's pretty low. Still a lot of people on the call side. I was thinking we were going to get a rug pull last week and the week before. We just haven't, and who knows if we will or not. The market could be just channeling and waiting for Christmas to get over with before making its dump after Christmas. So it's just being manipulated, the VIX and SPY. So with that said, looking at the economic calendar for the week, I have a few things. Let's see. Okay, make sure I get the right day here. Okay, Monday the 11th. Let's see. 10-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. That could be a mover. We'll have to see. They have been, usually the 30-year one is the ones that move, but 10-year, I think it moved last time too. So keep an eye on that. Tuesday, we have core CPI month to month and year to year at 8:30 on Tuesday. That could be a big mover. And Tuesday, we also have 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. They have been moving lately. Hopefully this one will move too. And we have the federal budget balance at 2 p.m. I don't know if that's a mover or not, but I would imagine that that might start getting attention. I don't know. So got inflation numbers coming in Tuesday morning in bond auctions, Monday and Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we have core PPI and PPI at 8:30. And we have FOMC at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And we have Powell. This should be a big one because they're going to go over what the rate's going to be, the economic projections, the statement, and Powell speaking. So we could end up having a pretty good one here. Who knows? I would imagine if VIX does not pop at all, we stay below 13 or 12 or at lower 12s, that I'm thinking that SPY is going to dump on that. It will all depend on what SPY does for before FOMC. If SPY does dump before FOMC, and then maybe it pops on FOMC, but if SPY just stays channeled and VIX stays in low 12s on the VIX, I'm thinking we're going to dump on FOMC. So we'll have to see what happens. Monday and Tuesday will be vital to how things will look for FOMC. I mean, if VIX is low 12s going into FOMC, FOMC is either going to be a dud or it's going to dump. Because I cannot see SPY raging and taking off with VIX at 12. It just does not make sense. I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Not saying it can't happen, never say never, but it's very, very unlikely that SPY will take off and VIX will get below 12 on FOMC. Very, very unlikely. So, like I said, never say never. So FOMC, big day. We got a pretty big week this week. As far as on the economic calendar, and that's just a Wednesday. Now, Thursday, we have retail sales, unemployment claims at 8:30. Another big news day on Thursday. And Friday, we have flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, and Empire State Manufacturing Friday pre-market. So a lot of news almost every day. There's something major going on this week. So it could be a very volatile week, or it could be just like the market will just dump on the news and just pop, rebound, V-rally. So who knows? We'll just take it one day at a time, one news event at a time. So I'm not going to read too much into it. So just keep checking the economic calendar every day to see if anything pops up on that. So, but like I said, with VIX is at 1235. The last time VIX was this low was right before the pandemic in January of 2020 and it does not like to stay down low like this. The last time it stayed low like this, see, it stays low like for a couple weeks, then it pops, like right here, a few weeks, then it pops, few weeks, and it pops, few weeks, and it pops, comes back a few weeks, and it pops. I mean, it does this. It doesn't stay like the floor right here, a few weeks, and it pops. It stays down here for quite a few weeks. Well, actually, a few weeks, and it did pop right there. A few weeks, and it popped. Floor down here, a few weeks, and it popped. Couple weeks, and it popped. Same thing, couple weeks, and it pops. I mean, just a couple weeks, and it pops. I mean, it just VIX. Couple weeks, and it pops. VIX does not stay down. It's not a stock. It measures volatility. The more it's compressed, the more it's violence it's gonna have on the pop. So, a few weeks, and it popped. We're down here a few weeks. It's gonna pop this week or next week, or after Christmas. It's gonna pop. It does not. It's not going to stay compressed. VIX does not stay compressed. It does not bleed out. Regardless how far back you look at it, there's a floor. The floor just gets lowered based on volatility and the size of the candles. Right now, the size of the candles are $3 to $5 range on normal days and 6 to 10 on volatile days. VIX is too low based on the volatility, so it's not going to stay down there. We've been down here underneath 12 for 3 weeks. It's going to end up popping this week and next week. We had a lot going on this week, so maybe it'll be this week. So, what I SPY's weekly. We just fixed the weekly. You're at the head and shoulder neckline right here. I mean, technically, no matter how, if you draw it, you can say we broke it right here. If you go off the wicks and the wicks here and the body here and body here, technically we did break over. And I was talking about this a few weeks ago, that we had such a huge run right here that we could just break over it just enough to get people in and slap on retailers right here, get everybody on the excited for a massive push, and then it just gets people in for them to slam it on them. So we did technically break over the neckline slightly, depends on how you draw it. I mean, even if we draw it off the wick right here, still broke over it a couple of dollars. So technically we did break out a little bit, but this could be the fake out breakout, get everybody on more excited for a massive move to 480 or all-time highs or whatever, than to push down. But the thing is that VIX does not have the room. VIX is not going to go to 10, not in this market. The last time it was at 10 is during Obama, when the daily candles were $1. We're not at dollar range candles. There's too much going on wrong in the world right now for VIX to even get under 12, let alone to 10. So, I mean, VIX can slap under 12 very, very quickly for like 10, 15 minutes, and maybe slightly for a day, but it's not going to 10. So VIX does not have the run to drop to justify SPY's push to 480. So to me, I think that this is a trap. It's a major trap, and they're going to end up pushing it down. So something's going to end up happening. What it will be, I don't know. It could be the economic news, could be FOMC, it could be something completely unrelated. The inflation numbers, who knows? Something's going to end up happening. And you get the bearish divergence going on the daily right here. It's making higher highs. RSI is making lower highs. Same thing with the hourly. RSI is making lower highs as this is making higher highs. Bearish divergence going on, multiple time frames, multiple indicators. It's going to happen. The question is, when will it happen? VIX is getting way too low for a more of a push up. So I'd be looking for a downside underneath 459 for 458, 455. VIX is 455 area, where it's been like holding this 455, 454, breaks this area. We see it push to 450 to 445, which is gap support right here. We got tons of gaps to fill. This is where inflation numbers came out and it went crazy. And wouldn't it be funny if inflation came back and they came back hot, and because technically the inflation is not really going down, it's just going down. The government numbers are making it look like it's going down. It's not going down. It's all bullshit. So it'd be funny if it came in hot and VIX SPY ends up dumping and filling the gap right here. We can definitely see that. Well, now I got tons of gaps to fill at 445, 430, 425. We got lots of gaps to fill on the downside. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. So keep an eye on SPY. Apple, I mean, Apple is just going crazy, even though they missed earnings, they've slowed production. This company just keeps going and going. I don't know why it's going on, what kind of hype is going on. Maybe that they're having good Christmas sales. Who knows with Apple? This company is just a very horrible company with Chinese sweatshops and stuff like that. I mean, these guys don't even. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's just they're a disgusting company the way they have their the way they do things, child labor and stuff like that. So, but anyways, all-time high right at 198. I mean, who knows? Maybe it gets pushed to all-time high. It gets pushed to 200. I don't know. I'd keep an eye on it, but to me, it's very overbought on the daily. Bearish divergence going on big time right here, from here to here. Here to here, RSI is making lower highs, high prices making much higher highs. Same with the hourly, you can see it's going down lower, it's going up. Another multi indicators, bearish divergence going on. It's just a matter of time. If SPY dumps, Apple will probably dump with it. So who knows? We'll have to keep an eye on Apple. I hate trading Apple. It doesn't move that much for me. Amazon could break out. I mean, technically, look at it right over this. Right over 148. This thing could take off to 150. So I'd keep an eye on Amazon. Being still Christmas time and spending, people could get kind of excited thinking that Amazon's going to have good earning potential here and get excited. So definitely gets over 148. We could see a push to 149, 150 on Amazon. Who knows? Maybe even to 160. On Amazon if there's a lot of hype behind it. BA is just kind of blowing my mind how well it's doing. It's gotten so far so fast. It's kind of starting to look like SPY, and I think the RSI on the daily is above 87. This thing is just out of control. I might be looking at puts on this, but I did that with Roku, thinking the top was in. It just keeps going and going and going. But I mean, this thing is just crazy. This area right here is what, 242. It broke out over it. So I mean, look at the RSI. I mean, it's just going down. I mean, it's popping, going down as well. It's going down, popping, going down, popping, going down. But it's still huge bearish divergence going on the hourly, and on histogram right here. You can see it's making lower highs right there. This is making higher highs. It's been diverging since this 220 area right here. So the thing with divergences, they can go for weeks, days, months. I mean, back when Roku and Baidu had major weekly divergences, it took them like months before they actually played out, and they ended up being huge plays. So the more the divergences grow in larger time frames, the more radical it's going to be when it does actually happen. So BA, definitely keep an eye on that for a drop. Microsoft, it did drop right here. It's kind of like going sideways into a bear flag, even though it kind of had a nice day on Friday. But I would keep an eye on it underneath 368, or even say 370 for push to 368, 365, 360. RCT trend lines down here at the 355 level. I could come back down and touch that. So down on the daily, on the weekly, it's down here at 320, so 317. It's got quite a big drop right there, so it could definitely come back in. All those candles are outside the Keltner channel on the weekly and the daily. I mean, look how many of the candles are out. Usually come back in like it did right here. It did come back in. Hopefully, let's see if it drops. It comes back more, but if AI gets hot again or something like that, Microsoft could end up pushing for all-time highs again. Who knows? You have to keep an eye on that. Microsoft could be a good play to the downside if it does break that area of 368, 370. So Tesla is one. Kind of keep an eye on two areas. I mean, one, you get a head and shoulders on the daily. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. So if it does break below 235, it could end up having a gap fill down here to 225. So definitely keep an eye on that. Also, keep an eye on if it does manage to get over 245, it could make a push to 250 and 260. So it is riding the 20 EMA up. It's holding it. So, but there is a head and shoulders on the daily. So to me, this could go either way. I mean, head and shoulders, I mean, more people are probably going to look to the downside, but you get a channel right here on the weekly. You can see right there. If it does break this 250 area, we could end up seeing a pretty nice. Let's throw the channel right on the weekly. Oh, I got all the wrong thing. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, let's see what it lines up with on the. Yeah, see? Doesn't look as perfect on the daily, but whatever. You can see it right there. It's right up against the channel. So if it gets over this 250, we could break the channel and have a big move out of Tesla on that. So keep an eye on Tesla. Netflix. Netflix, it dropped right down here. Had a nice little play on the downside down to the 450 area that got bought up. It's trying to hold 450. One of the things I'm looking at right here is an inverted head and shoulders on the hourly. Maybe it gets over 455 and gets a nice little pop to 460 and fills the gap to 465 before going lower. So I would keep an eye on that. Kind of watch this on both sides. Over 455 for the inverted head and shoulders to play out on the hourly, and if it doesn't, I'd watch it underneath 450 for a push down to 445, 440. It's got some kind of room to drop right down here. Well, I mean, the next big area is that, 445, 440, 435, 430, 425 is what the RC2 trend line is. So Netflix could go either way, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it pushes a little bit and fills the gap. But I mean, you can also keep an eye out for the downside too. So a couple things to watch for. Going to be a busy week. Hopefully we'll get some volatility. This sideways action in this channel and SPY is just very annoying to play. So with that said, that's going to do it. And thanks for watching.